Here now is Lisa Bell and Candace Campos with Florida Foodie. Sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
Hello, and welcome back to Florida Foodie. I'm Candace Campos.
And I'm Lisa Bell, and today we have a returning guest joining us. He is the executive director of a nonprofit that is educating communities on healthy eating habits. And doing a 180, he just opened his first brick and mortar location of his own ice cream company.
That's right.
Yes, we're so happy to be joined by Glen Providence from Ebony Nutrition and Smile Ice Cream Company.
Thank you so much for
Welcome
having me.
back.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you both.
Well, we're happy to see you. You have been with Ebony for 15 years now.
Yes.
Teaching people in our community how to eat healthy.
Yes, focus on communities where higher rates of diabetes and hypertension and obesity are prevalent. And what you find in many of these communities, they couldn't afford the services of a dietitian. So they get the diagnosis and they're left to try to figure this out on their own. And that's where Ebony comes in, founded by registered dietitians. And we work day in, day out to provide that comprehensive nutrition education.
Part of that is some cookbooks too,
Yes,
which I love.
yes. Our founders have written 6 books for the American Diabetes Association, all with like a healthy soul food angle to it. So it's really about getting people back in the kitchen, introducing more fresh produce into their diets. We have our mobile farmers market bus, Fresh Stop, which goes to food desert neighborhoods and provides increased access to fresh produce in those neighborhoods.
And we sat down with you with Florida Foodie just a few years back.
I'm a veteran now.
You are. And so how have things evolved and changed since, what was 2019?
Growth, the COVID, years. And I think our impact and what we mean to the community, what Ebony means to the community, became even more apparent during COVID, because you look at the individuals who are being diagnosed more with COVID, and there was that direct correlation to comorbidities. If you had diabetes, if you had high blood pressure, you were more at risk to develop more complications. And so we set up pop-up farmers markets right outside our office for the community. We did a lot of virtual cooking demos. We did something really cool where we would cook together. We would send out meal kits to people's homes or drop them off using our Fresh Stop fleet. And then on Zoom, remember Zoom, everybody was on Zoom. And so on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we would be cooking, chicken fettuccine Alfredo or something like that. So
Live cooking classes.
Live cooking classes, but still a way to connect to the community.
So where does that mobile food truck visit? Which communities are we talking about?
We are all over Central Florida. So the target there is food desert neighborhoods, which is an actual term where there's no major full service grocery store. So we're in Pine Hills, we are in Paramore, we're in South Apopka, we're on the east side, we're in Kissimmee, Osceola County. We've even gone up to Marion County with partnerships with some of our sponsors. So we go all over, but places where people congregate and the need is great, that's where Fresh Stop comes in. But it's more than the produce, it's also providing that nutrition education, because I can give you all the produce that you can get, but if you don't know how to plate it, prepare it, store it, what good is it? We've seen other examples where people have been given produce and they pick what they want and they throw the rest away. Well, how can we teach you? And there's some dignity that goes in there, and that's why we believe at Ebony it's a hand-up model, not a handout model, and that kind of goes against the grain, but there was a level of dignity and choice that goes along with it. You pick what you want for you and your family, and let's work together to figure out how to best feed your family.
And while you were doing that, you also had a little baby with you, a little cart.
Yeah.
I remember Smile Ice Cream was just like
good memory. Yeah. It was
a passion project.
It was a passion project. I love that. The story behind that is I burned a grilled cheese sandwich once in the kitchen at Ebony, and then they banned me from going into the kitchen. And there's some really talented chefs. And so Ebony has a test kitchen and also is a commissary kitchen. So we have chefs that come in, and Ebony has birthed different businesses, food-related businesses, from that test kitchen. And because of that burnt grilled cheese, I couldn't get in there to compete with anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got like Michelin, what do they call?
Michelin stars.
level, you know, chefs, and you know, they're doing all these fancy stuffs, and I'm like, I can't compete with that. So I wanted to do something food related, and ice cream popped into my head. And it goes back to, I remember making ice cream as a kid, and there is a feeling that goes into ice cream. I believe that there was a magic moment when you're with your kids, you're with your family, you're out, and you say, you know what, let's go get some ice cream. And in that moment, when you get there, it's a feel-good moment, or the opposite is you're trying to cheer somebody up. Hey, you know what, let's go get some ice cream.
Yeah.
And there's an old saying that goes, you can't eat ice cream without smiling.
Smile.
So thus, Smile Ice Cream. So I launched that. I went to ice cream school. I learned how.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
It was a 3-day course. I learned the ins and outs. The company that owns the patent on ice cream batch freezers is in Brooksville, Florida. Incredible facility,
Wow.
great people, and I spent the first 2 days in an ice cream shop in the Villages, learning how to make ice cream, putting it together, all the cool stuff, and also how to run a store. And then you spend the 3rd day in the factory learning about the machines. And one of these machines, brand new, was like 15 grand. And so I took the course, got my certificate and my apron, and I'm like, well, now what? And then God is good. About a month later, when you graduate from the course, you get enrolled into like an ice cream Facebook group. And someone was selling one of these machines, again, brand new, $15,000. He was selling it for $6,000.
Wow.
And it was in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. On a Saturday morning, I left at 2 o'clock in the morning, didn't tell a soul, because people, you're crazy. What is this ice cream?
But people already should know this by now, right?
So I drove up, picked up that machine, was back in Orlando at 6 p.m. that evening, and that was the beginning of the ice cream journey.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And since then, it has grown.
Since then, it's grown.
Yep.
I spent all of 2019 perfecting flavors. I have made and dumped gallons upon gallons of ice cream just to get that right taste. Again, working in that kitchen and seeing all these chefs and watching them perfect their craft and these incredible tastes, I wanted to do that for my products. So I focused on taste, and I like that look when we do samples, you know,
Right.
and when people taste my mango sorbet and they go, oh my gosh.
I love a good mango.
When they taste my butter pecan and they say, you made this? I had one gentleman, he bought a pint and he's sitting there eating it. He says, where did you buy this from? And I said, I made it.
Yeah.
I have the recipe. I still have, although it's typed up, I still have a little black book with all my notes and spills and stains.
You
and
told me
so-
earlier your butter pecan ice cream
Yes,
is the best in the world.
It's the best. I would stack that up against anybody's ice cream. And it's, like I said, it's everybody, like we were talking earlier, everyone has their favorite flavor. So I feature 16 flavors at a time.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
It's a lot to keep up with because I'm always making, but the goal is it's always going to rotate. I don't want you, every time you come in, it's a different smile experience. So the next flavor is like pistachio and rum raisin that I'm going to roll out.
So tell us about your brick and mortar location. It's near Orlando's College Park neighborhood.
Yes.
Why did you pick that spot?
It's
And
brand
what's it
new.
like when you walk in?
So another story, but I won't get into that, but a dear friend of mine, hey Ken, we were meeting for breakfast. We were connected years ago, lost touch during COVID, and we connected on LinkedIn, and he was promoting this space for lease and didn't think much of it at all. And we're meeting for breakfast for we're talking about Ebony stuff and a construction project at Ebony. And the last thing I said to him, we were wrapping up, I said, next time we meet, Ken, remind me to tell you about my ice cream business. And he goes, what ice cream business? So I tell him a little bit about it. He said, hop in your car and follow me. We're about a mile away from Edgewater and Fairbanks. And I walked in there and it didn't even register. I'm like, okay, why are you showing me this? because I was doing ice cream catering with Smile, and I was doing great. I really was not looking for a location. I wasn't actively looking, but I knew when the right opportunity presented itself, I would know. Long story short, I left there and I was driving down Edgewater, and then the light bulb went off. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the home for Smile, because I was doing all these ice cream catering and people would always ask me, where can I buy this?
Yeah.
And I didn't have an answer. So there was a barn door that separates me from the subway. Ken left it open. He said, go back and take a look at it. I went back and it was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I can make a go at it. We opened May 3rd and just celebrated our 2-month anniversary on Friday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, talk about a baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And everything's made in small batches. Everything's made from scratch.
From scratch, no artificial flavors, no stabilizers. Everything is made right in-house. It's not being trucked in from a factory, you know, and it's great. I love the connection to the community. You know, shout out to the College Park community, because they've really started to embrace me. And my goal is to be that neighborhood ice cream shop.
Well, you brought some for us to try.
Yes,
so
I
we're
did.
gonna
Good, because
take
as of
a
right now, I don't believe it until I
You're
You
eat
gonna
don't
try
believe
it in your ice
it. Oh, the
cream,
pressure is on now. Oh man, love it.
Welcome
Right?
back with the magic of TV.
Yes.
We have ice cream.
Yes.
Glen Providence is here with Smile Ice Cream Company, also Ebony nonprofit organization. You now have your brick and mortar location in
Right.
College Park, and these are just a sample of some of your 16 flavors.
Just the sample of the 16 that you'll see anytime you walk in to Smile. And every time you walk in, it'll be a different experience. And I want it to be a different experience because I want people to keep coming back. The best customer is a repeat customer.
Right.
So, and the reviews have been great, but I didn't want you guys to take my word for it. So I
don't
wanted
believe you until I try it.
to try it. So what we have today is Blue Magic. That's our version of Cookie Monster.
Okay.
And
you
it
partnered
is-
with the Orlando Magic. with
Yeah,
this.
I had a small partnership where for their 35th anniversary, they wanted a blue ice cream, and
There
that
it
was
is.
that.
That's great.
So
Okay.
that's
I'm gonna try
basically
this one.
vanilla ice cream with a blue food-based food coloring, and it has Oreos and Chips Ahoy.
And you were talking earlier, you use all natural ingredients, so this is a plant-based coloring.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
I love it's creamy.
Yes.
That's very good.
It seems like it has cookie dough
Yeah.
and Oreo.
It has Chips Ahoy and
Yum.
Oh,
yes.
that's where I can
Yes.
taste the cookie.
Chips Ahoy.
That is good.
That's blue. That's a favorite with the kids.
Kids, of course.
That's the favorite with the kids. So I'm going to take you on a little taste journey.
Okay.
Since we're in the cookie line, do you guys remember what the Delta airline cookies
No.
were? The Biscoff cookies?
Oh yeah, the Biscoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I make a flavor called cookie butter, which uses that Biscoff.
Came in
flavor.
like the red package.
Exactly,
Yeah.
red and
Yes.
white. So I'd like you to try
flip it.
that. Yeah,
This is cookie butter.
cookie butter.
butter.
Yes.
Okay. Two of my favorite things, cookies and butter.
Oh my god.
It's creamy.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
It's got a
that's my
little hint of
favorite
like
so far.
cinnamon.
Yes, that's that Biscoff.
That is so Biscoff.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
funny.
Yum.
Yep, that's what that is.
Okay.
It's smooth as butter.
That's-
really
Yeah, I
is.
like it. I might need to use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So
Okay.
we have chocolate. Any chocolate lovers?
Always,
Yeah.
right here.
All right. This is my chocolate velvet.
You
This
put
is
the word velvet in it. It better be
Yes.
velvety.
Oh, I'm
is
sure it will be.
It's a richer, dark. It uses a Dutch chocolate, and it is one of my favorites. It's
That to
my-
me tastes like brownie mix.
Really?
Like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yum.
That's good.
So simple. Yeah.
And that's, you said you have a whole section of chocolate flavors.
My chocolate corner. So chocolate velvet,
Okay.
which is the
Okay.
Dutch chocolate.
This is the
This is-
chocolatiest of your chocolates.
Yes. And then I do chocolate explosion, which is more on the kid side. It's more of a
Okay.
milk chocolate with chocolate sprinkles.
Okay.
I
You gotta
do-
get that for the kids.
Yes, I do a frozen hot chocolate, which is like the cousin to the
Chocolate velvet?
explosion,
Okay.
because it's a milk chocolate, and it has chocolate with marshmallows in there.
Yum.
And then I do a mint chocolate. I think you said that's your favorite.
I don't. Candace is not a mint
Candace is
chocolate
not a
chip
mint
fan.
chocolate, yeah.
I don't. It's not my go-to.
Right.
I'm more of a butter pecan person, but I like mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate and then chocolate peanut butter.
You're also not a mint chocolate.
No,
I'm
you're
not a mint. I'm not a mint. But I had so many requests for it. I had to make it.
And you make it with one of my favorite things to get after I leave a restaurant.
The Andes
chocolate bars.
Yeah. She does not like that at all.
So funny.
She does not like that at all. So now I'm gonna clear your palate.
Okay.
This is my top seller.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising to me.
Mango sorbet.
It's not a surprise to me because
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone, when they go for ice cream, are like chocolate, vanilla,
That is
mango sorbet.
Yeah. I got the
That's
applause.
that's like Florida.
Yes.
It's like
Summer.
fresh mango.
Yes.
It is like fresh mango.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I saw on your website, and because I'm having this flavor right
I'm going
now,
back. I'm going
that you
back.
now have some alcohol infused
Oh my gosh.
ice creams.
Yes.
She went down the rabbit hole.
You went down
Well,
the
that caught my
rabbit hole.
attention.
Yeah.
Does that involve this mango sorbet?
It can.
Okay.
It can. Yeah.
And you were also saying that you also do a lot of catering, a lot of weddings.
That's how I started. I started the business doing ice cream catering, and that sustained me, and I love doing it.
That is so good.
Thank you. A
I
lot
need to be
of.
sitting on a beach.
I know that's the taste right there. And so I got a lot of calls from healthcare companies, insurance companies during like open enrollment. We're trying to get to our seniors. Can you bring 100? And I would bring it in these little 4-ounce cups. Is really what allowed Smile to grow, especially during COVID. It took off during COVID because as the mix is coming out of the machines, I was packaging them and labeling them at that point of extraction.
So they were
and
safe.
it was done. They were safe. That thought of scooping during COVID was like, gross, don't do that.
Yeah.
So with these, I was able to do a socially distant ice cream social.
That's perfect.
And so you still have your cart, your ice cream cart.
Still have the
that
carts.
People can hire for special events.
Yeah.
And you were saying you have a wedding coming up, and you're going to have a specially designed label that matches the wedding
exactly.
colors.
So it's all about customization. I do my own labels. I dabble in graphic design, and so it's always cute. And you know, we're all married, and so you remember your wedding day and how special it was. And so I'm always honored that someone chose me to provide ice cream for their guests.
Yes.
So why not make it even more special?
And they're from New Orleans. So
They got engaged in New Orleans.
what flavors are they going to be offering?
The New Orleans connection is a bananas foster.
Ooh, that's a good
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So I take ripe bananas and I cook them and I add brown sugar and butter to it to make like a slurry. I add it to the ice cream mix, and when it's coming out the machine, I mix in some caramel in there, and it is.
So what day and where is
You
it at?
saved one for us.
Yes. So the last one is my vanilla bean.
Okay.
That is my standard bearer. It is a little bit darker.
Yeah. I
noticed.
Because I use real vanilla bean
bean.
pods.
You can see
So
'em.
can you see it? So it affects the color somewhat, but
That's fresh.
yeah.
That is probably the best vanilla ice cream I think I've ever had.
All right, time for me to go.
Okay, bye.
I did it.
And
I did
that's
it.
So
in
good.
part because I am such of a butter pecan
Yeah,
caramel
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
That's what I taste.
Yeah.
This is more like caramel ice cream to me than
Really? Yeah.
vanilla.
Yeah. That is vanilla bean.
This is
it has
amazing.
a kind of custardy texture
So
to
good.
it. Yeah. But my code name for that is V3.
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 Okay.
So when I was
Going back to cookie
making
butter.
versions, remember I told you about all that ice cream I threw away?
Yes.
Vanilla is the hardest flavor to
Is it really?
perfect. Yeah. Because there's no cookies, there's no candies, it's the purest flavor
You could add,
to make.
and we talked, okay,
Yeah.
so do you have waffle cones?
I do have waffle
That you
cones.
make?
Yes.
This and a
Oh
waffle
no, I'm
cone.
not yet. I don't
Okay.
make them yet. I make a bubble waffle.
What is
What's
a bubble waffle?
You never heard of bubble
No.
waffle? So it's like, so
Where's
thinking
this?
like it's the cousin to a Belgian waffle. So the Belgian waffles has
Okay.
squares, so the bubble waffles has like holes in it. So I make a fresh bubble waffle and I put it in like a French fry holder, and I put 2 scoops of ice cream in there, whipped cream, some
Did you just
caramel
mix?
drizzle.
I did, but I'm just eating off this side. Well, because I'm thinking,
You're combining
I mean,
flavors.
you get more than one scoop when you
Yes,
go in,
yeah,
right?
No,
absolutely.
so this right here.
Absolutely.
That's
I'm
where I'm
thinking
going.
blue magic and vanilla.
Hold on.
That's a great combination. And it's so
going
funny that you
chocolate.
say that because people
cookie
come in
butter.
and they do like different combinations, and I feel like a taste advisor. I'm
Yum.
like, no, that wouldn't go well together. You know,
Yeah,
can you know, so yeah.
Those two?
These two.
Yeah, that's mine.
These two are good.
Yeah, and then we also do.
This just needs like rum or something.
Bro, I'll add that to my alcohol infused line.
What
But
are? Tell me
definitely.
about your alcohol infused. I
So
saw it on your
the
website.
alcohol
Yeah.
infused I was at a casino and I was new at the ice cream game, and they had this. It was a bar at the casino at the Hard Rock, and it was just the packaging was beautiful and just the best tasting ice cream. It's like 5% alcohol,
Yeah,
so you're not gonna get drunk,
yeah.
but just a hint. So I make
Yum.
CBK, which is coffee, Kahlúas, and Bailey. I do a bourbon brown butter. I do a coconut rum.
I feel like those would be popular for a wedding.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So, and I do a dark chocolate. I'm sorry, a dark cherry. Yeah, and so
I'm a cherry fan.
So I'm rolling that out within the next month.
Seriously,
I
but
have to get.
Candace, I was just gonna say, you and I are smiling more now that we've
Yeah,
had this ice
I
cream.
love it. I love it. There
Oh
you
my
go.
god. So how do you balance it all? Because you also run a small newspaper, Midtown
Yeah,
Press.
the Midtown
When do you
Press.
sleep?
And I love sleeping.
Right.
I love sleeping.
So I mean, you have Ebony, you have Midtown
Yeah.
Press, you have Smile.
You know,
Tell our audience about the Midtown Press.
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah, so the Midtown Press has been continuously operating since 1995. It's a small hometown paper that kind of serves the greater Pine Hills area. I acquired the paper about 2.5 years ago from a couple that was getting ready to retire. I was helping them do a transition to getting it online and doing a Facebook page.
I gotta stop.
Make it more digital.
And at the end of it, they said, "Would you be interested in taking the paper over?" I'm like, no, just pay me and let me get out of here. But it was my background. I think I told you guys I dabbled in graphic design, and I'm like, well, I could do this. And I love the connecting with different people in the community. And to me, that's my connection to the community. There's a lot of great people and great things happening in Pine Hills. And I believe the negative stereotypes that's associated with Pine Hills, I think they're in the beginning of a renaissance, and I want to be there for it to spread all that good
That's
news in
fantastic.
people. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it comes out 6 times a year, 2,000 copies printed, and it has a online digital version of it, supported by some great local advertisers, and I'll continue doing that paper as long as they'll have me. So
You're doing so much. It's
Yeah.
so much good for the
Yeah,
community
it
too.
is.
Not just supplying great
it's-
ice cream.
And it's great because I love it when I may be a day late because I'm making ice cream and getting the paper
Yeah.
because it's at libraries and churches, and I'll get the calls, "Where's the paper?" You know. And so
Yeah.
but it's good. I balance it. We're talking about vacations. I'm big on vacations, even if it's a weekend.
A little unplugged.
Unplugged.
Good for you.
But I think
Yeah.
that's good. Of course, you got to have some ice cream with that. So-
Amen.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
and you have, some of this, and you're on vacation,
good.
right? You're
You're
right at
good.
the beach.
Yeah.
I love
Definitely.
that.
Definitely.
So I know a lot of people might be interested in Ebony, either volunteering or finding
definitely.
where you guys
Yeah.
are going to be providing services. Where can people find more information on Ebony?
Definitely. EbonyNutrition.org, HEBNI. Ebony is an acronym that stands for Health Empowerment through Behavioral and Nutritional Initiatives. So EbonyNutrition.org. Always volunteer opportunities. We're grant funded, so donations are always welcome, but plug in and connect with us. We're going through some construction. We're getting ready to launch a grab and go cafe there
great.
with some healthy meals for the community and a dietetic internship program. And so Ebony's great, and more to come from Ebony.
And if you want to put a smile on your face and have some of the ice cream around, where
come to 4353 Edgewater Drive. We are on the corner of Edgewater and Fairbanks. There's that Sunoco gas station right on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And what's unique about it is that it's a Subway restaurant, and there was a barn door, and I'm directly connected to the Subway. So you can get dinner from Subway and get a smile.
Yeah, and we've had Jeff's Bagel Run on several times. They're in that plaza as well.
Great
what are your
bagels.
hours there?
Today makes our first day that we're not open 7 days a week.
Okay.
Based on customer demand. It just, so 2 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then 2 to 9 on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Closed on Sundays.
Now, we're open 7 days a week now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were closed on Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we began, we flip-flopped. In the beginning, we were closed on Sundays, and people were like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
So I opened on Sundays to take Mondays off, and then like,
are you crazy?
Are you
Open
crazy?
on Monday.
Open
Yeah.
on Mondays.
Yeah.
And it's the folks in College Park that,
I need my mango sorbet.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to open. So I adjusted the hours to justify for it. But I'm excited.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. So, I'm there.
All right. And of course, we can also get a copy of your paper.
Yes, the midtownpress.com. You can go to smileicecream.co, smileicecream.co. Follow me on Instagram at mysmileicecream.
It'll make you hungry.
It'll make you hungry, but it'll make you smile.
And we'll see you in 5 more years for your next venture.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
been so much
having
fun.
me. Yeah. Thank you.
This cookie butter.
Delicious.
So good.
Thank you for listening to Florida Foodie. We'd also like to thank our guest, Glen Providence. You can find his business online at smileicecream.co. You can also find Ebony Nutrition online at ebonynutrition.org. That's Ebony spelled Hebni, nutrition.org. Be sure to follow Lisa Bell online. Search Lisa Bell News on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find Candace Campos on social media. On Facebook, search Candace Campos News 6. And on Instagram, search Candace Campos, WKMG. Also, a big thank you to our entire production team. I'm the show's producer, Thomas Mates. Please take the time to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you stream podcasts. And you can find videos of all of our podcasts on clickorlando.com and on YouTube. Just search for Florida Foodie.